West is a great place to bring up kids. Fresh air, good plain food, kind of upbringing that makes upstanding, hardy, fearless citizens. Like William Bonney, for instance. Only as Billy the Kid, he never actually grew up. Died of lead poisoning at the ripe old age of 21. But whatever lay ahead, Western kids always managed to get an education. Amazing what kids were taught in those one-room schools. They learned to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune and engaged in wholesome fun and games. Of course, their parents engaged in wholesome fun and games, too. But I always preferred my recreation more peaceful. Name's Destry, and I am well known as a peaceful and law-abiding citizen. For exercise, I like to watch clouds go by. Of course, since I'm looking for a fellow who framed me and had me sent to prison, I keep moving around a lot, but I do it slowly. I learned a long time ago that when you move too fast, it joggles your blood. If there's one thing I don't want out of life, it's joggles blood. That's why I often ask myself why I'm always getting mixed up in situations that cause joggling. It's bad enough when you log horns with a run-of-the-mill Batman or a tough sheriff. But when you find yourself tied up with a young gentleman whose main ambition in life is to become a juvenile delinquent. Anyway, I was crossing the Wyoming territory, and I thought I'd look in on an old friend of mine, Red Brady. We'd shared a cell together in Texas State Prison, and I was curious to see how he was doing.
Red Brady! Don't shoot! It's me, Destry! Red, it's me, Destry!
What do you know Red Brady from?
We'll have to have a social chat later, mister.
We'll have it now. I said, where do you know Red Brady from?
We used to work together.
Where?
Texas State Prison.
That figures. What are you doing here?
Came to pay a social call. How about you? Forget I asked.
Did you ever hear of the Butch Jenkins gang?
Yeah, I heard of him. And so has Red. There's one thing he doesn't want is to have any more to do with them. I bet my life on that.
I'd hedge that bet, mister. Red Brady's joined up with them again. I've got a fella locked up in town that told me. Came out here to talk to Red about it, and he started shooting. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that proves it.
I know Red a lot better than that. He wouldn't go back with Jenkins. He's got a wife and kid, and...
He had a wife. She died 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, he wrote me that he wasn't feeling well, but I didn't know that. How about the kid?
As far as I know, he's in there with him. I told Red if he wanted to fight to send the kid out. He didn't even answer.
Sheriff, I think I can reason with him. That is, if it's all right with you.
You go ahead. It's your neck.
Yeah.
Red!
Well, I'm beginning to think Red doesn't remember me.
Destry, where will you ride tomorrow? What will your legend say? Will it recall a man on the run, or a place in the sun, or a drifter who passed this way? was wild as the West, and yet they say a fight was not his game. He'd rather gamble and laugh and love when trouble came this way. He rode that away. Destry was his name. Destry.
Seems like you've been lying all the way around.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Sheriff.
First, you don't look like you're any friend of Red Brady's, and second, I don't think your name is Destry.
Now, whatever gave you that idea?
The Destry that I met a time or two was one of the best sheriffs that ever lived. Now, it seems like sort of an insult for an ex-con, using an alias like that.
Well, I admit it's sort of an insult, Sheriff, but I didn't have much to say about the matter. Tom Destry was my father.
Uh-huh. Just like Red Brady's your friend.
Doggone it, he is my friend.
And you go tell him so.
He keeps shooting at me.
So I've noticed. Martin, take a good look at this drifter. Do you think we got any wanted posters out on him?
I'd have to get back to the office and go through the file. But I think there's 3 or 4 that might fit him.
Now, look at here, Sheriff. There are no circulars out on me, and there never going to be any. Why, I'm so law-abiding, it's downright embarrassing. If you were a friend of my father's...
I didn't say I was a friend. I said I was an admirer. And I didn't say it went along with the idea that Tom Destry was your father.
Well, Red Brady can prove it to you.
Then you go talk to him. Otherwise, I'll take you right into town and let Martin start going through those files. You may as well understand right now I got no use for ex-convicts.
I was starting to get that feeling. All right. I'll go talk to him.
I'm coming in, Red. Don't shoot. Red, you know I never lied to you. Now, you can't hold off these lawmen forever. I'm coming in, Red.
Red?
Hold on there, boy. Hold on.
I'll kill you.
What would you want to do a thing like that for? I'm an old friend of your father's. You are Toby, aren't you?
I don't know you.
That doesn't surprise me. You didn't amount to much last time I saw you. I'm Destry. Does that mean anything to you? Where's your pa?
None of your business.
Where's Brady?
Not here. The boy was doing all the shooting from the looks of it.
And I ain't sorry either. I'd do it again.
Looks like Brady knew I was on his trail. Walked out on the kid and ran off to join up with Butch Jenkins. That's just about what I'd expected of him.
Sheriff, what did Red Brady ever do to you to make you dislike him so much?
He's an ex-convict.
So am I.
See what I mean? Now I'll find out from the boy where Red went.
Take it easy with the boy. I got a hunch he won't tell you, seeing as you're a lawman. But he might talk to an ex-convict.
All right. Save me time and temper. Just find out what I want to know.
You two think you need any help? It's a pretty dangerous criminal you got there.
You'll see. And I'm gonna shoot down every lawman I meet. Just wait till I learn to use a gun better.
Son, right now you got yourself into a mess of trouble. Now you simmer down. Maybe I can help you out of it.
I don't want any help from you. Your pa was a sheriff.
So you do remember me.
Is that right, kid? This man's name Destry?
Yeah, that's his name, but he don't amount to nothing. Ma was always telling me how his pa was such a famous sheriff and how peaceful and law-abiding Destry is. Make you sick to hear it.
Well, Destry, I guess this changes things a little.
Well, Sheriff, glad to hear you say that. Now, what about the boy?
Take him into town and lock him up, I guess.
Well, you can't do that.
Now, what do you want me to do? Go back outside and let him start shooting at us again? Or did you forget he was shooting at us?
He didn't hit anybody. I doubt he was trying to.
We did come up on him kind of hard. Kid all alone here.
Can't blame him. His mother dead and his dad gone. What he needs more than anything right now is a friend.
All right?
All right?
That's right, all right. You're a friend of the family. You take him.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Sheriff. I can't do that.
We take him to town and lock him up.
Well, you can't do that either.
Then he's all yours. All right?
I don't want to be turned over to you.
Toby, you let me do the talking, will you? Sheriff, you and me go outside and think this over. You three manage him all right? Sheriff, I'm a loner. What am I going to do with a boy?
Just follow him around.
What are you talking about?
I figure with all that stuff packed in there, the kid plans to join up with his father. Now, you're going to find out where his father is, and you're going to lead me to him.
I'm going to lead you to him. What sort of a charge you figure you got against Red Brady?
I figure that Brady's going to join up with Butch Jenkins. Now, he's the one I'm after. Now, if I can stop Brady before he gets into any real trouble, so much the better.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Sheriff. My pa used to say the biggest part of a lawman's job was stopping a crime before it happened. Now, if Red Brady's got any ideas about joining up with Butch Jenkins, I think I can talk him out of it.
Maybe so. Don't you get the idea that I trust you? You just follow that kid, but I'll be following you.
All right. I'll even make it easy for you and mark a trail you shouldn't have any trouble following.
Well, if I do, you'll have a lot more when I catch up with you.
Sheriff, what is it makes you so distrustful of human nature?
Human nature. Martin, let's go.
Just don't understand it. This isn't like Red at all. Walking out on you, leaving this boy alone here.
He didn't walk out on me. Pa wouldn't do that.
He's not here.
Of course he ain't, but I know where he is. Left me plenty of grub, and he knew I wouldn't be afraid to stay alone while I packed up. Then I was going to meet him.
Where?
I said it was none of your business.
Well, just that after coming all this way, I kind of like to talk to him. Like I said, we're old friends.
Some friend. When Ma was dying, did you come around then?
I would have, Toby. I just didn't know.
Didn't know. Wouldn't have made any difference anyway. Everybody in town knew. But did they come out? No, sir, not one of them. Just because my pa had been in prison once. We found out who our friend was.
Butch Jenkins?
You bet Butch Jenkins. He came out here lots of times, even when he knew the law was looking for him. When Ma died, he came out here and tried to help. He offered Pa a job.
Toby, your pa's a real fine man. I wouldn't like to see him get in any trouble.
Trouble? You want more trouble than this? We didn't eat regular for the last 2 years. All the kids in town making fun of me because I didn't have new clothes. I hate them all. And so does my pa.
Did he tell you that?
Well, not exactly. But Kansas said it so. And Kansas said they're going to make more money than anybody ever made. And Kansas said after I learn a little more, I can go along with the gang and shoot.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who is this Kansas?
You say you was in prison, you never heard of the Kansas Kid? He's the best outlaw there is. And he's my best friend. He's teaching me how to shoot. He says at first I can hold the horses and be kind of a lookout. But before long I can be robbing banks.
Sounds like a real fine boy, this Kansas.
He's a real fine outlaw.
Well, I'm not surprised. Your pa,
Well,
you
you
know.
say nothing against my pa.
Oh, I'm not. Just that, well, after he got out, I was kind of disappointed in him. See, I had a lot of big jobs planned. And he was so set on going straight.
Maybe he's changed his mind now that Ma's gone.
Well, if he has, I'd like to talk to him.
Well, seeing as you were cellmates together, I guess I could take you where he's going to meet me. But you better be on the level, Destry. Because if you try and double-cross me, I'll shoot you right in the back of the head.
That's the way I like to hear a boy talk. You're all right, Toby.
Now, you right ahead of me. And remember, if you got any ideas, I'm right behind you with this rifle.
Oh, no, not me. No ideas. Not when I got a born killer pointing a rifle at me.
All right, then ride. We got quite a ways to go. We'll be camping out tonight. If you behave yourself, I might not have to tie you up.
You can sure depend on me. Morning. You're a pretty sound sleeper.
That's what you think. I had my eye on you.
I figured as much. That's why I didn't try anything. How about some breakfast?
Smells awful good.
Sure does. Some 2-day-old biscuits over there.
Okay, Mr. Destry. How'd you like that?
Not bad. Felt the sight catch on the holster, though. Slowed you down a little bit. Here. You might as well take the belt, too.
I'm watching you.
That's the way. Never take your eyes off them. Heavy, isn't it?
Nope. Not for me.
Well, as time goes by, and you've killed a few people, you'll be amazed how heavy it feels. You old enough to drink coffee?
I'm old enough for a lot of things. Now, you want to know why I took your gun?
Might be interesting.
That rifle I've been holding here was empty. I ran out of shells when I was holding off the sheriff. Now, let's eat so we can get going.
Will we get there today?
I don't know whether we will or not. That depends on you. But I'll get there.
Yep. You got all the makings. I imagine the James boys start out just like you.
You suppose so?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
How much farther?
I'm not sure. Not too much. Hey, how come that branch there's busted?
What branch?
You've been leaving a trail.
Oh, I wouldn't do that, Toby. Not me.
You better be more careful. What kind of an outlaw are you, anyway? You ought to know better than that. Sheriff Connell, she said he'd be behind us for sure.
Well, we wouldn't want that to happen.
I ought to shoot you right here.
We wouldn't want that to happen either. Besides, if Sheriff Connell was behind us, he'd hear it.
All right, let's go. You first. We're almost there. Pleasant's supposed to wait for Paul just below that chimney rock. Just like he said it would be. Supposed to meet him there in a couple days.
Maybe he won't be there. Maybe he's figuring on running out and leaving you.
Paul never lied to me in my life. He never will either.
I'm glad you realize that, Toby. I always believed everything your pa said, too. Except that business about he's going straight.
Paul said he'd leave me some supplies here.
Well, then I'm sure he did. Let's look around.
That's just about far enough. Stand still, Toby. You stranger, get up your hands. Toby, I thought I learned you better than this. I told you never ride up to a place without circling around, taking a good look. Boy, how you ever expect to be an outlaw?
I'm sorry, Kansas. I try to remember everything you teach me, but it comes so fast.
Well, some of us learn fast and some of us don't, I guess.
Without asking, I'd say you're the Kansas kid.
You heard of me, huh? And who are you? A lawman?
Oh, just one of us outlaws.
Who is he, Toby?
Friend of Paul's. Says he'd been in prison with him. He's done a lot of outlawing.
Another one of the old-timers, huh? Well, you might as well learn fast that things have changed a lot since your day.
Have they changed enough so I can put my hands down now?
Why not? You ain't got no gun. And if you try anything on me, you'll be dead before you take your next breath. Toby, you just taking his word for it he's a friend of your pa's?
Well, I think so. I took his gun just in case. I figure when Paul sees him, if he's an outlaw like he says...
And if he ain't, you can shoot him. You figure you're up to that?
Just give me the chance.
Yeah, I mean, what's another old-timer, more or less? Old-timer. Well, I guess all we have to do now is sit down and wait for Red.
We're gonna find out right now if you're an outlaw. Toby, go around back. Get my horse.
Mind if I ask where we're going?
You just get up on that horse and keep your mouth shut.
Right there, till I get a better look at you.
Bush is gonna skin you alive, Candace. Destry.
Hi, Waco.
Doggone it, you long-legged son of a gun. Bush didn't tell me he was gonna join up with us.
He didn't tell me either. but I sure am glad to see you, Waco. These two kids are might too free with their guns for a peaceful fellow like me.
Oh, I don't pay no attention to Kansas there. He tries to act like he was growed up. Come on in and meet the boys. You know some of them. There's Jeter, you remember him? And Red Brady. He finally got smart and decided to come on back with us.
Yeah, I heard about it.
You shouldn't have brought Red's kid with you. Red ain't gonna like that.
Well, actually, it was sort of a case of the kid bringing me. Come on.
Hey, Jeter! Red Brady! Come look what the cat drug in. Take care of the horse. Oh, Destry! I figured the horse would have hit you by now. Come on in.
Good to see you, Jeter.
Toby, what are you doing here?
You said he was a friend of yours, Paul.
Howdy, Red. Been a long time.
Destry, didn't expect to see you here.
I don't suppose you did.
All right, what's going on?
Somebody speak up. Who is he and what's he doing here?
Well, I brought him in, Butch.
You stick to feeding the horses and chopping wood, we'd all be better off. Now get to it. Where? My name's Destry. Just came by to say hello to Red.
He's all right, Butch. Me and him, Red and Jeter, we all done time together.
Don't worry now, Butch. Destry's regular. Maybe he wants to join up with us, huh, Destry?
Shut up. I don't like strangers coming in here. All right? I'll leave just as soon as I say howdy to Red. You'll leave when I say so. Or maybe not at all.
He's all right, Butch. Ain't he, Jeter?
Well, if Waco and Jeter vouch for you, I suppose that's all right. I'll think about what I'm going to do with you. I don't like you coming in here.
Hey, he's as touchy as a tease rattler before a big job. And the one we're going on tomorrow...
Please, I don't want to know about it. Just keep it to yourself. Waco, Jeter, come on in here.
See what I mean?
Don't worry now, Destry. We'll talk him into not killing you.
Well, thank you very much, Jeter.
Shucks, what are friends for?
Hey, you run along, son. We'll talk later. Wait a minute. Where'd you get that gun?
Belongs to him.
Give it back. Now.
Son, next time you swap a fellow's gun, be sure and check to see he hasn't unloaded it.
That darn kid. Always did have a yen for guns.
Yeah, good with them, too.
Why'd you bring Toby out here, Destry?
He brought me. Anyway, I was kind of anxious to see you. Often wondered how you made out. Now I know.
Now you know. But don't think you're going to change anything.
No, I wouldn't think of it. I mean, if this is what you want for yourself, Red, and for the boy.
Leave the boy out of it.
Red, you think you can do that?
I told Kansas to stay away from my boy.
And why'd you send him down to the line shack to wait for Toby?
I didn't. That was Butch's idea. Look, Destry, I tried. All I got for my trouble was crop failure and sickness. And then when Nell died, how long's a man supposed to try?
A lot of people with less sense than you, Red, try all their lives.
All right, you went straight. How much do you have to show for it?
Not much. And if you measure it that way, I don't guess I can argue. Tin cans today, people tomorrow. But then, I guess you've thought all that out.
Morning, Paul.
Morning, son.
We going outlaw now?
Son, I want you to go back to the old line shack and wait for me. Now, I'll be back pretty soon. Then you and me are going to take a long trip together. Just the two of us.
But Kansas said that I can
Now,
go...
son, I want you to quit listening to Kansas. He's no good, you understand? He just talks to hear his mouth rattle.
No, he don't, Paul. He knows an awful lot about outlawing, and you should listen to him. He says that you and Destry and even Butch Jenkins are old-timers, and you don't know what's going on now.
I guess maybe he's right about that, son. I guess we do get to be old-timers and forget what's going on. Did I ever lie to you, son?
No, Paul, you never have.
All right, then I want you to believe me now. You wait for me, and I'm coming back for you. And then after that, everything's going to be different.
You don't have to treat me like a little kid, Paul. I know we have to go outlawing to get some money.
Son, I want you to put all those ideas out of your head. Just trust me. Just this once. Red? You going through with it? That's right. Don't try to stop me. Hey, Destry. Hey, you're lucky, Destry. Glad to hear it. There have been times when I wondered.
I was all for killing you. Coming in here and snooping around the way you did. Waco and Jeter and Red here talked me out of it.
It's good to have friends.
That still don't mean I trust you. Only reason I'm going along is because you don't know where we're going or what we're up to. But I'm going to see to it you don't follow.
Believe me, I never follow anybody's headed for trouble.
You won't follow me. Not tied up the way you're going to be.
Well, now, suppose you boys don't get back.
Well, then you're going to be tied up a long time, aren't you?
You really think that's necessary?
Now, don't push me, Destry. I can still change my mind.
Well, I never did object to being tied up. Get a lot of sleep that way.
Hey, kid, come here.
I'm sending him back to the line shack, Butch. He's not in this.
I didn't invite him. Now he's here. I'm going to use him.
Yes, Mr. Jenkins?
You want to be an outlaw, don't you?
Yes, Mr. Jenkins. And Kansas has been teaching me.
Now, you think you can guard a man? Keep him from getting away?
Give me a chance. I can do it.
Good boy. Now, I got a job for you. So we're going on a little trip. Your pa and the rest of us. I want you to keep Destry right here till we get back. You think you can do that?
Give me a gun and I can.
Toby, I don't want you mixed up in this.
No, just keep out of this, Brady. I don't like your attitude. Does the kid guard him, or do I shoot, Mr. Destry?
Oh, I'd much rather have the boy guard me. He's really very good at it.
If you want me to shoot him, Butch,
Just shut up. Your gun. If he tries to get away, you gotta shoot him. You understand it?
I understand it, Butch. Don't you worry.
Waco and Red. Tie him up. I'm
sorry the way things turned out, Destry. I was hoping you'd ride along with us.
Don't worry about it, Waco. I don't fancy getting myself killed, and that's just exactly what might happen to you boys. So, guess I just soon stay here. You know how it is, Red. You get mixed up outside the law, you take your chances of getting killed. Good thing Toby's as old as he is. Anything happens to you, he'll be all right.
All right, Waco, I'll finish it.
Don't you try any tricks on my boy, Destry.
Oh, I won't. I don't want to get shot.
Toby? Watch him good.
If he tries to get away, I'll shoot him right between the eyes.
You can quit worrying, Red. I reckon he'd kill me.
You bet I would.
Then you wouldn't have a beginner in the family anymore. You'd have a full-fledged killer. Red, come on.
Destry's doing. He let us on, and he quit marking the trail. You can't follow tracks on this ground.
You shouldn't have let him go. You should have taken him back to Blackstone with the boy.
If I ever catch up with him, I'm going to throw him in jail and lose the key.
Toby,
Yeah?
I must be a miserable sight, sitting here trussed up like a shoat on its way to market.
If you think I'm going to feel sorry for you, I ain't.
Not even a little bit?
If it wouldn't be for you, maybe I'd be on my way to Blackstone with Pa and the others.
So that's where they're going.
Sure it is. They're going to rob the bank. Kansas told me. They might have took me along.
I wouldn't be in their shoes for anything. I'm glad I'm here, away from trouble. I wonder if Sheriff Connell's still out looking for your pa.
Don't you try any tricks. I'll pot you for sure. You just sit still. What are you doing?
Oh, not a thing. Not a thing. Just trying to get comfortable. How far do you reckon your pa and the others have gotten by now?
Why?
Just wondering. Sooner they get finished with the holdup, sooner they get back here, sooner I get out of these ropes, right? I just hope your pa doesn't run into the sheriff and his deputies. I mean, he could get killed that way. I suppose it's too late to warn him, too.
You look worried.
I am. About Destry.
It's your kid I'm worried about. I'm not sure what he'll do if Destry gives him any trouble.
Head gun Destry. He'll do anything to save my neck.
Toby, would you do me a favor?
What do you want?
I'm thirsty again.
You can't be. I already gave you 3 cups of water.
Oh, I know you did, and I appreciate it, but I'm still thirsty.
Keep this up and I'll pump the well dry.
Well, you don't want me to die of thirst, do you? Come on, just one more cup.
Well, all right. Sorry I got you all wet, Destry.
No harm done, Toby. Feels cool on my chest. It's a wonderful thing about being thirsty. It makes plain water taste so good.
You weren't thirsty at all.
I almost drowned drinking all that water. It's the only way I could think of to get you to turn your back on me.
You touch those ropes and I'll shoot.
Well, Toby, you have to do what you think is right. I have to do what I think is right. Now give me that gun, son.
You come any closer and I'll kill you.
Just give me the gun, son.
I'll kill you, Destry.
Give me the gun. You're a mite too young to be playing with guns anyway.
I let my paw down.
No, you didn't. You wouldn't have shot me. You did exactly what he would have wanted you to do. Now, let's get the horses.
Where are we going?
To Blackstone to warn the sheriff.
Well, what about Pa?
That's exactly where we are going. Your pa doesn't want to be an outlaw any more than you wanted to shoot me. We're going to try to stop him. Now get to the corral, saddle your horse. For a moment there, I was happy to see you.
Get your hands up, Destry. Because of you, we've been riding around in circles for 2 days.
I'm sorry about that, Sheriff, but I had a little accident with my trail marking. If we hurry, though, we can make up for it.
This man's got more gall.
I got more than gall. Butch Jenkins and his gang are heading to Blackstone to hit the bank. You were trying to warn somebody.
Sure you were.
It's true, Sheriff. My pa's with him. Destry figured if we could get word to you, there wouldn't be a holdup. My pa wouldn't get hurt.
You lying to me, boy?
You think he'd lie to you about that? You know how he feels about Red.
All right, let's go. Blackstone and make dust. Sorry, son. Too late to stop them, but we're in time to get them. You two go around the rear of the bank. Martin, you and I'll hit them when they come out the front.
You'll kill Pa.
You just wait, Toby. There's one side of outlaw and your pa never told you about. Now, the sheriff will give your father every chance. You stay put.
All right, now let's go. Yeah. many were there?
6. Red Brady and the one they call the Kansas Kid must still be in there.
You better go back to the boy, Destry. Getting them, too, is my job.
Red Brady's my friend. He might listen to me.
All right?
Red, listen to me. The bank's surrounded. Now, the sheriff's promised Toby he'd give you a chance. You drop your gun and turn yourself in. Red, it's no use. Come on out.
Don't shoot! Please! Don't shoot! I didn't do nothing, honest.
Sheriff, take a look up the street.
Look! Paul wasn't with them.
I wasn't with them neither.
Shut up. You were in the bank.
But I didn't mean no harm. I don't want no trouble. Please, Sheriff, you gotta give me a chance.
All those things he said, he just made them up. He ain't nothing but a liar.
That's right, Toby. A liar and a coward. You scratch any outlaw deep enough, that's what you'll find. What changed your mind, Red?
I got thinking about what you said back there. How Toby'd kill you if you tried to get away. My son's a good boy, Destry. I managed to ruin my life a couple times. I wasn't about to ruin his. So I run out on Butch before we got here. Had to be sure Toby didn't shoot you.
You didn't actually help Jenkins?
No, but I would have. I'm ready to go along with you now.
Well, I don't reckon the authorities can lock anybody up just because he was meaning to do something illegal. How about that, Sheriff?
Well, not by any law I ever heard of.
Well, Red, you're as free as a bird. I'm heading west. You two like to ride along with me?
What do you think, son?
Wouldn't that be sort of like running away, Pa? I'd sort of hate to leave.
So would I, son. No, Destry, I guess we'll stay. I never went out of my way to get acquainted around here. Folks don't seem so bad now.
Destry? Are you really as bad an outlaw as you say you are?
Destry, an outlaw? You tell him that, Destry?
Well, I might have exaggerated things a little bit. Actually, Toby, what I am is a real artistic storyteller.
What were you lying for? Didn't get you anything.
Maybe one of these days you'll find out what it was. Red? Farmer's Almanac says, looks like a good year for rain. Maybe your luck has changed. Maybe your next crop won't fail.
I know one crop that won't. And thanks.
My pleasure. See you, Red. See you, Toby.
Bye, Mr. Destry. I like him, Pa. I don't know what he's talking about half the time, but I like him.
Oh, he's just talking about crops, that's all. Now let you and me get out to the ranch and plant one.
Where will you ride tomorrow? What will your legend say? Will it recall a man on the run or a place in the sun for a drifter who passed this way? Where will you ride tomorrow? What will your legend say? Will it recall a man on the run or a place in the sun for a drifter who passed this way?